हेलो एस्पिरेंट्स, आप सभी का स्वागत है एनालिस्ट आईएएस की इस ब्रीथ सीरीज में। एंड इस सीरीज में विल बी डिस्कसिंग ऑल द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम 2015 to 22 so that you can get an idea of the UPSC pattern with each subject. We have discussed of geography and history. Now environment and ecology questions which came in the year 2018, 15, 16, 17 के हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। टोटल क्वेश्चंस जो आए थे they were 11. So let's start. Question 1. Which one of the following is an artificial lake? Kodaikanal, Kolleru, Nainital, Renuka. Pause the video, try to answer. So, इसका correct answer है A, which is Kodaikanal. Kodaikanal Lake, also known as Kodai Lake, is a man-made lake located in the Kodaikanal city in the Dindigul district in Tamil Nadu, India. Kodaikanal Lake is in Palni Hills. It is a starfish shaped but with 4 points centrally located in the town of Kodaikanal and is surrounded by lush green hills of northwestern Palani Hills. This is it. Question second, which of the following are possible consequences of heavy mining in the riverbeds? Decreased salinity in the river, pollution of groundwater, lowering of the water table. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. Your correct answer to this is B. Why is it so? Because the depletion in the stream bed causes deepening of the river and estuaries and enlargement of the river mouths and coastal inlets, and it will lead to saline water intrusion which will increase the salinity of it. It will not decrease. So if you will eliminate this statement, you will get your answer as B. Question third. The Partnership of Action on Green Economy page, a UN mechanism to assist countries transition towards greener and more inclusive economies, emerged at the Earth Summit on Sustainable Development 2002, Johannesburg, the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012, Rio de Janeiro, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change 2015, Paris, the World Sustainable Development Summit 2016, New Delhi. Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is B, which is the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012. Let's see more. In 2012, Rio plus 20, this conference of the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, it was held in Brazil. The conference outcome, document the future we want, was a call to action for the governments, businesses and the UN alike to support countries interested in transition to green economy. The page was created as the UN's direct response to this call of action. 4 UN organizations including ILO, UN Environment, UNIDO and UNITAR, they initially joined the forces to be able to provide countries with broad and tailored support. Question 4. Why is a plant called Prosopis juliflora often mentioned in the news? Its extract is widely used in cosmetics. It tends to reduce the biodiversity in the area in which it grows. Its extract is used in synthesis of pesticides. None of the above. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So the correct answer is B. The kikar or the Prosopis juliflora was brought to Delhi from Mexico. So it is an invasive species by the British more than a century ago. This exotic species became invasive and wiped out most of the native plants and along with it the animals, which once used to roam in the ridges. With its deep root, it has also wreaked havoc on the city's underground water. Question 5. Consider the following statements. The Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years. When the Earth was created more than 400 million years ago, there was 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. When living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is, let's see, statement 2. Between 4.5 and 2.5 billion years, the earliest atmosphere contained CO2, methane, water vapor, carbon monoxide, little nitrogen and hydrogen. There was no oxygen at that time. So you can eliminate the statement second as an incorrect statement. You are left with A and C. When the living organisms originated, they did not affect the early atmosphere because they lacked the ability to do so. Early atmosphere of the earth was modified by the solar winds, not by the organisms. This statement is also incorrect. Your answer is A. This happened not only in the case of earth but also in all terrestrial planets which were supposed to have lost their primordial atmosphere through the impact of the solar winds. Question 6. In which one of the following states is Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary located? Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya or Nagaland? Pause the video, try to answer. So your correct answer to this is A, Arunachal Pradesh. It is spread over an area of 862 square kilometer at the foothills of the eastern Himalayas in the Arunachal Pradesh. Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary is also known as Pake Wildlife Sanctuary and more popularly known as Pake Tiger Reserve. It is a tiger reserve. Earlier, a game sanctuary, it became a wildlife sanctuary in the year 2001 and a part of Project Tiger in 2002. The sanctuary is well known for being home to tigers and many amazing species of hornbill as well. This is the image of that sanctuary. 7. Consider the following statements. The definition of critical wildlife habitat is incorporated in the Forest Rights Act of 2006. For the first time in India, Baigas have been given habitat rights. Third, the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change officially decides and declares habitat rights for primitive and vulnerable tribal groups in any part of India. Which of the following statements given above is correct? Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is A. First is correct, it is incorporated in this act. Second is also correct. Third statement, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is not the ministry which officially decides for the tribal people. It is the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So your third statement is wrong. You can eliminate it. By elimination, you also got your answer as A. Question 8. Consider the following: birds, dust blowing, rain, wind blowing. Which of the above spread plant diseases? Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. It is D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nematodes, snail, bird, wild and domestic animals often help dissemination of plant diseases. The spores of many parasitic fungi are disseminated by air currents from diseased to disease-free host. Pathogens like bacteria are often disseminated by splashing of raindrops, as in the case of citrus canker disease. So your answer to this is D. Question 9. How is the National Green Tribunal or the NGT different from the Central Pollution Control Board? The NGT has been established by an act, whereas the CPCB has been created by an executive order of the government. The NGT provides environmental justice and helps reduce the burden of litigation in the higher courts, whereas the CPCB promotes cleanliness of the streams and wells and aims to improve the quality of air in the country. Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this would be B. The National Green Tribunal has been established on 18/10/2010 under the National Green Tribunal Act for effective expeditious disposal of cases relating to the environment protection and conservation of forest and other natural resources. And about the Central Board Pollution Control Board, it is also a statutory organization which constituted in September 1974 under the Water Act 1974. So they both are from Act. You can eliminate the statement first. About the second, the tribunal's dedication jurisdiction in the environment matters shall provide speedy environmental justice and help reduce the burden of litigation in the higher courts. The tribunal is mandated to make an endeavor for disposal of applications or appeals finally within 6 months of filing the same. So it will reduce the burden. Functions of CPCB are spelled out in Water Act 1974 and the Air to promote the cleanliness of streams and wells in different areas of the states by prevention and control abatement of water pollution, to improve quality of air and to prevent, control or abate air pollution in the country. So your correct statement is B. Question 10. With reference to the Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture, which of the following statements are correct? GACSA is an outcome of climate summit held in Paris 2015. The membership of GACSA does not create any binding obligations. India was instrumental in the creation of GACSA. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is B. And without even knowing it, you can just know that this is an extreme statement. But let's see. Statement first is incorrect because the concept of the climate smart agriculture was originally developed by the Food Agriculture Organization and officially presented at the Hague Conference on Agriculture, Food Security and Climate Change in the year 2010. Statement 2 is correct because membership of alliance does not create any binding obligations and each member individually determines the nature of its participation. It is incorrect because India is just a signatory. It was not instrumental in the creation. Momentum for Change Climate Neutral Now is an initiative launched by the Intergovernmental Panel on the Climate Change, the UNICEF Secretariat, the UNFCCC Secretariat, the World Meteorological Organization. Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is C, which is this. Why is it so? The Climate Neutral Now is an initiative which was launched by UN Climate Change in 2015, aiming at encouraging and supporting the methods for climate reforms, all levels of society to take climate action to achieve a climate neutral world by mid-century as enshrined in the Paris Agreement adopted the same year. The initiative therefore invites companies, organizations, governments, citizens to work towards climate neutrality by reducing their climate footprint thanks to the simple three-step method. What is the three-step method? It is measure their greenhouse gas emissions, reduce them as possible as it is possible, and compensate those which cannot be avoided by UN certified emission reduction CERs. This was all about today's video and session. Thank you. Have a nice day and stay tuned with ANALYST IAS for your further preparation. जाग मुसाफिर